Hey everybody. So I wonder how that's gonna go. But anyway, so I probably did a video about this before. The sun and their sun in your chart. Now, if I did, this is an updated version. So anything that I have done, just know that if I do it again, it's new information that I've learned, researched, studied, or went through my own experience. So I just want to do this really quickly, and maybe people got notified and could find me on the channel or can find me on YouTube, then we could do a QA. But so I said that they lift you up and they could tear you down. Well, have you ever thought about or worried about, like, why is your mate, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever you're in a relationship with, like, why is certain areas of your life, can they be seen as the biggest cheerleader, and then they also could be seen as the one that's like the most hated, you know? So a view of like things you do. So I try to see, I said, what's the easiest way for me to explain this to people? So here's the easiest way. The easiest way is this. Look on your natal chart, right? Look on your birth chart, natal chart, whatever you want to call it, right? And then look at the house, the astrological natal house on your chart, not their chart, your chart, of where is your sun located. Now, the planets in the houses can mean different things, but if we're talking about relationships, we have to focus all on relationships, right? So look at your house, where your sun is located, your S-U-N, sun, okay? Now, mine is in the 10th house. So that means that, and it's in my sign of Scorpio, right? So if someone is a Scorpio, that means that their sun, if they are a Scorpio, is in my 10th house. Now, that means the 10th house is your career, your public image and stuff like that. So it could be a Scorpio person that will help me in my career and will help my image and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, just as much as they're building me up, they could tear me down, right? So you got to look in the sun and look at their sun. First, find out where your sun is at, and then look at their sun and put it in your natal chart house. And you could see that, wow, this person, like a major motivator, or they really want me to win in a certain area of my life, you know. Just to let you guys know, the sun in the first house, if their sun is in your first house, either they or you find each other really, really attractive, and their family members are really close to you. So like if you meet a woman or a man and the family, you meet the family, when you finally meet the family or whatever, what could happen is that they start really liking you and loving you and all that kind of stuff. So it's just that their sun is in your first house. So just be careful and don't think more of it other than what it is. Keep things as what they are. Okay? And now another way to look at it too, look at not only the sun in your house, look at their sun in your house, right? In a particular house. So let me see. The best way to look at this is it have to be somebody you kind of know, so you can kind of practice, and then you could do it with new people. Okay? So if you look at your last relationship, man or woman, it doesn't matter. If you look in your last relationship and you say, where did we go wrong? Where did he or she give me motivation? What did they do? Why was they worrying about this? Or why did they build me up at the same time they put me down in this area? You got to look, what is their sun sign, right? So look at your ex's sun sign. Then you look in your natal chart and see what house their sun falls into. Get it? And that's 9 out of 10 times, because nothing is 100%, nothing. That is where that person most likely affected your life. Okay. Hey, people in the place to be. Okay. So usually the most deepest relationship that you guys could really tell this is in the water houses, which is 4, 8, and 12. In the fourth house, it'll be a little bit difficult to shake this person. So what is in your fourth house? And see if that person sun sign is in your fourth house. So start with their sun sign. Okay, so you got Aries, you got Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, all the way through, right? So look in there and see where is their sun in your house. I'm just laughing because I was going to do this as a podcast. I'm kind of tired. But anyway, I'm going to keep going. And so whatever sign, so say they're Gemini, look and see what house your Gemini is in. And even if they was not a former lover or a current lover, and it's just a person that you always wonder, like, okay, do you love me? Do you not love me? Are you feeling me? Do you not feel me? You know, because like it's confusing. So look in there and see what their sign was. You could do it with anybody, but I think that we should do it in relationships because that's what people want to win, and that's what people want to be most successful. So if you meet a person and they're not sign, don't be like, oh, I'm not gonna be that person. Just see what their part that they're gonna play in your life. What role are they gonna play in your life? Like I said, if it's any sign that's in the fourth house, you guys really going to want to move in with each other quickly. You're not going to see a problem with moving in, going shopping, doing like food shopping and cooking at home. And it's going to feel like your soulmate. And it could be, but it's going to feel like your soulmate. And it's going to be a really deep connection because they are in your fourth house. That is your home. That's your lineage. That's your family house and all of those kind of things. So you're going to, if they're in your fourth house, you're going to think like that they're the people for your thing, right? My wife's a Gemini, which is in your sixth house. If you know what? That's a really good spot for you, for a relationship to be in the sixth house, man or woman. Since your wife is in the sixth house, that means that she doesn't mind. It's good and bad and everything, right? She doesn't mind doing daily chores for you, like making sure you eat every day, make sure you go to the doctor's appointment, make sure that she wake you up on time, make sure your clothes are washed, like just chores type of things. But at the same time, she could flip it around and she can say things like complain about you're not waking up on time, you don't take care of yourself that well. And you're like, oh my God, like nobody asked you to do all this stuff. This is what you were doing when we first met type of thing, you know? But they'll do it and they'll fluctuate and you really wouldn't know when, even if you know this person. So you'll be so appreciative because they'll do it naturally. Like that's their task for you. They'll run errands for you. If you can't do something, they'll take care of it for you. Please don't, look at it as like, this is the reason why I want to be with this person. That's just part of it. Okay. You said your man is Gemini. He falls into my fourth house. Yeah. Well, I mean, it could be some kind of soulmate connection, and I'm not saying soulmate exactly, but it could be some kind of deep-rooted connection that you guys probably have to settle now in this life. It could be that deep, or it could just be like he feels like family, even though he's your boyfriend or whatever. He feels like family. You feel like you know him. He feel like he knows you. But that could be flipped around too, because the same way you feel this closeness and family thing, it's not going to go away as long as you got to understand, guys, you got to understand when their son is in one of your houses, or you can look and see like your own son and match it. Like, so my son is in the 10th house Scorpio, right? So I can match it that way. I can say, okay, any Scorpio ever that deals with me is going to have something directly affecting my work or whatever, right? Or you could look in your natal chart house, and the house in your natal chart, and you can see what their sun sign is and put it in your house. Then you'll know what purpose they serve. You'll know why sometimes it's really supportive and sometimes it's not. So look and see that way, but don't get caught up in a pixie dust if they're in your 4th, 8th, or 12th house, because those are the water signs, and you will automatically feel drawn into these people. They will automatically understand you. They'll know where you're at and like how you're feeling that day, you know, all that kind of stuff, and you will be all amazed and all happy because of that. Did you just say something? Oh, he had a crush on me when we were younger. We reconnected. It feels so familiar. Oh, so you are chalking it off like it feels so familiar because we knew each other when we was young and we reconnected. No, it's astrology. It's astrology. No, because even if you guys didn't know each other when you were younger, you didn't connect, it would still be the same thing. It would feel like family. And it's going to be very difficult. I shouldn't say that. That's making a manifestation. Just be aware that it might be a little teeny weeny bit challenging for you guys to separate, because it is feeling like family is, you don't want to ever break up with your family, even if you don't get along with them, you know? So, but yeah, guys, do that. Look in your houses, look in your house for their sign, their sun sign, the sun sign. The sun is the ego, the core of who we are. You could do that with all the other planets as well. You can look at the Mercury, you can look at the moon and the Venus and Mars and all of that. If you're more advanced in astrology, you can look at that and look at other parts of their sign in those planets, but you have to know their time of birth so you can actually get the planets. The further the planets are, the less you need the time, because, you know, you got Pluto, which lasts like anywhere from 14 to 20 years. You have Neptune that I think lasts for like 12 to 14 years. You have Uranus that lasts for 7 years. So the outer planets, which are the psychological planets, I know you guys know, but those you don't need your time of birth. So whatever somebody's Pluto is in, is their Pluto, regardless of the time. Neptune and Uranus, you just have to know how to read those so that you can get those answers. One easy way, if they have whatever their Pluto sign is in, and it's generational, so if they're close to your age, you're going to have the same Pluto. But they're going to, it's a lot of power and control in that house, in that area. So look at that too. She's a complainer about everything. Yeah, but she might complain about everything, but she still do it. she still do the stuff for you. You know, she complain. He had oh, I didn't read that part. Okay. So with that being said, I just wanted to come on here. Like I said, I could do like a part 2 or whatever when it's a little earlier. I try to come on like 9 o'clock. So y'all, if it's not 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, then I probably won't come on, because I want to at least be consistent with the times. Okay. So with that being said, I am going to go, and thank you guys for the ones who actually came on. Thank you. And thanks for hanging out with me. Thank you, Renee. Have a good night, y'all.